Over the last couple of months, I have been putting out these videos. Now, these are some of the harder videos that I do because I'm talking about women and girls' safety. So the dudes come online and they are upset because the feminists are destroying the world and the families and all of that. But these dudes are the ones that are making things unsafe for women and girls. This next video, we're going to talk about some things, and I'm just putting it out there, this trigger warning, this blanket trigger warning, a serious one, that these are some heavy topics. Our safety, our lives are in jeopardy, mostly because of them. This is where I'm going to start. This black dude that seems like he's probably MAGA or some kind of red pillar putting out this AI propaganda photo, because we all know that this is not typically what was going on with black families. I have seen this as a white family, but it says, imagine how much propaganda it took to convince women that this is oppressive. Because let's think about the 1950s. Black people, the whole family, they were working outside of the home because of racism, and racism not usually paying the man enough money to be able to support a family. So everybody was all hands on deck. This type of propaganda is stupid, but they put it out there because they want to demonize women going to work, getting paid fair wages, and having financial independence. Because when women have financial independence, they can leave situations that are unsafe, that are not fulfilling, or for whatever the F reason they want to. So I'm not even going to go into his caption. I just wanted to show y'all this propaganda picture. Then I'm going to take this right into this post from Jamil Hill. She says a lot of black men blame feminism for the number of women who opt to focus on their careers and themselves instead of having a man or a family. But what a lot of these men don't realize is that many of our aunts, grandmothers, and mothers presented a picture of happiness and then told the young women in the family to do the exact opposite of what they did. I know she didn't say the exact, but I put that there. Those conversations were arguably much more impactful on black girls and women than any feminist theory. Share some of the advice the women in your family gave you. She says, I'm happily married, but my grandmother, who was married 3 times and had 3 children, told me she never wanted to get married or have kids. While she did get her bachelor's degree in social work in her late 30s, when she was in high school, her father told her her education for a young black woman was pointless. She struggled through 3 abusive marriages. Deep down, she wanted a career and felt trapped because of the time she lived in. My mother was married twice, one of which lasted over 30 years. Her first marriage ruined her financially, and besides education, both my mother and grandmother presented education and independence. And let's say, if I followed what my mother said about marriage, I never would have gotten married. I'm not saying this to bash men, and certainly not all older women were unhappy, but when men wonder why women aren't like the women in the past, I wonder if they've ever had a real conversation with women of the previous generations. I'm just putting that out there, and I know we talk about feminism all the time, but feminism comes as a reaction to oppression. If things were copacetic, if things were amazing, then women wouldn't have been fighting to go to work, fighting for their education. Why was our education restricted in the first place? Why weren't women being paid their wages? Why did women have to give away their wages? Why were women owned by a man? We were either owned by our father or by our husband. There are so many reasons why feminism was there, and it was always because it was a correction for the oppression that was there. So I'm just starting this video out with these words talking about feminism and the reason for it, because women needed that financial security, that safety that goes along with being able to stand on your own. I want to talk about Letitia James, who was just doing her job, and now the Trump administration is threatening her safety. And obviously, since she has to fight these frivolous charges of this fascist regime, her financial stability is going to be at play as well, because obviously she has to pay for lawyers to defend herself. But this is an article from The Guardian. Lots of people are talking about this because of the way this fascist regime is coming after people. Letitia James criminally charged in Trump's latest effort to punish rivals. A federal grand jury has indicted Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, for bank fraud and making false statements. 2 charges were brought against James, who had brought a civil fraud case against the Trump administration in 2022 that Trump claimed was a malicious prosecution. Lindsay Halligan, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, personally presented the case to the grand jury on Thursday, the person said. U.S. attorneys do not typically present to a grand jury. The other people dropped out because they know that these charges are frivolous. It says this is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. He is forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding, all because I did my job as the New York State Attorney General, James said in a recorded video statement on Thursday. These charges are baseless, and the president's own public statements make clear that his only goal is political retribution at any cost. The president's actions are a grave violation of our constitutional order and have drawn sharp criticism from members of both parties. Halligan was installed in the role last month after Donald Trump became frustrated with the pace of investigations against his rivals. No one is above the law, Halligan said in a statement. The charges as alleged in this case represent intentional criminal acts and tremendous breaches of the public's interest. The facts and the law in this case are clear, and we will continue following them to ensure that justice is served. Obviously, we are watching to see what goes down with this. We're watching to see how Donald Trump continues to come after people. And I just felt like this was important because women, black women, we're losing our jobs in this administration. This administration has been so hard on people in general, but black women are definitely taking so many shots because MAGA people decided to vote this man in. I have been watching this situation unfold, this news unfold with this singer named David and the 14-year-old girl. Whew, this story has been hard. I know I was supposed to tackle it a while ago, but it's just so hard with these girls that are being impacted by these grown men. And as a mother, some of these stories are just hard to talk about. I'm just being honest. People send me stories all the time, but some stories are harder to talk about than others. Teen girl whose body was found in singer David's Tesla may have been dead for several weeks. As a mother, some of this stuff just hits me and it's just like, what the hell? What the hell? So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. And this is just a reminder. As your daughters are coming up, make sure that you are talking to them. Make sure that you're not just shaming them when they have an accident or shaming them when they want to talk to you, because you do not know who they are reaching out to when they can't talk to you. All right, let's look at the story though. A 15-year-old girl may have been dead for several weeks by the time her remains were discovered in the trunk of singer-songwriter David's impounded Tesla in LA. It's still not clear how Celeste Rivas Hernandez died, but police acknowledge that there is likely some criminal culpability for the concealment of her body. Her body was found September 8th. The vehicle had been parked at that location from which it was towed for several weeks, so Ms. Rivas Hernandez may have been deceased for several weeks before the discovery of her body. Officers discovered Celeste's body after police were called to Hollywood Tow because of the foul odor coming from the Tesla. The LA County Medical Examiner has not yet determined the cause or manner of Ms. Rivas Hernandez's death, police said Monday. As such, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. So this is a different article. They had a funeral for Celeste Rivas Hernandez last week. Celeste Rivas Hernandez's loved ones are honoring her life 1 month after the 14-year-old's body was discovered in the trunk of the Tesla owned by singer David. She was buried at the Queen of Heaven Cemetery and Mortuary in Rowland Heights, California. Celeste's family gathered at the October 6th service, which was held in a large white tent on the cemetery grounds to honor her life, per photos obtained by TMZ. Obviously, this case is ongoing, but like I said, I'm using this as a segue to just Remind us to have open communications with our daughters because you just don't know who they're talking to. We have one more final hard to hear story. This girl right here, she was 12 years old and she was taken out by a group of boys because they were beefing with her brother. So it says, I know I did it. Teens bragged on Instagram about gunning down 12-year-old girl sitting on her couch amid beef with her brother. The second of 3 Florida teens was convicted in the murder of a 12-year-old girl who was taken out while sitting on her couch after suspects fired more than 20 bullets into her home over a school beef with her brother. Matthew Rice, now 18, was found guilty of second-degree murder and 2 counts of attempted second-degree murder in the death of Mariah Smith in Lake City. A jury found 17-year-old Jaden Birch guilty of the same charges in August. The 13, Jatarius Rashad Flulin, is still awaiting trial. Lake City police responded shortly after 9 p.m., August 24th, 2023, to a home on Northwest Long Street to a report of a person shot. When they arrived, they found Mariah suffering from a gunshot wound to the head. First responders pronounced her dead at the scene. Investigators found 25 shell casings in a laser sight outside the home, a probable cause arrest affidavit said. Over the ensuing days, weeks, and months, detectives uncovered evidence the shooting originated from a fight between Mariah's older brother and the suspects. Cops said Birch supplied the guns to the co-defendants and they walked to the home where they opened fire before running away. Flulin, who was 14 at the time, was the first suspect to be arrested. Birch, then 15, was taken into custody on October 23, 2023. A grand jury indicted Rice in February 2024. A key piece of evidence was an Instagram conversation involving Birch, according to a courtroom report from local ABC affiliate WCJB. He mentioned the shooting to someone, which reportedly included a smiling emoji. When the person asked if Birch was aware of the shooting, he responded, I know, I did it. Cops also found Rice's DNA on the laser sight. Juries deliberated for less than an hour to convict him. So they named a street after her, Mariah Reginae Smith. Her mom says, this is history. This is the first time in history Lake City has ever done anything like this. No other family should have to go through what I'm going through. And I'm praying that we can stop the gun violence. And the thing is, there are so many shooters out there, and so many of them are men and boys. So at some point we're going to tackle the real issue. We talk so much about the male loneliness crisis, but we're going to have to get to the root of the situation because so many women and girls are being harmed. And yeah, it's like their loneliness is leading to so many people's destruction. Join the conversation. I know these are some hard ones. I get it. They're hard to do. They're hard to collect the stories and sit down and say all of this stuff. But we got to do this. Join the conversation, though, and we got to figure out how we're going to stop this and keep our own daughters safe. Like, comment, and share.
A piece of tape across there. So, Peter, you can go there in the trash can. So, Erasmus, he helped promote the education of women. Don't you think that was the worst thing ever to happen when we started educating women? What you guys think? Was it good or bad to educate women?
Good.
Huh?
Good.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Someone still soap today.
Was it good or bad to educate women?
Bad.
Why?
Because we don't need that. I don't know.
Because this is a man's world.
Yeah.
And women are not supposed to know no more than we let them know.
Yeah.
Don't you feel the same way, Harlow?
I don't.
You don't?
What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with him?
Are you crazy?
What y'all saying? What's happening?
Man, he said, don't
Why do you think women should be educated?
Why should they?
They're human beings.
because it's a man's world.
I'm not agreeing with you.
But you let women know too much, then they'll boss you around.
No, because it takes two to tango. A man can't produce a baby, so.
Anytime producers about control, I don't want my wife to know nothing. Come on, what I tell
You
you.
cheating on her? You cheating on her? You cheating on her?
No, but I'm saying I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know just very little, so I can control a paycheck, tell when to eat, sleep.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Yeah. That's one way to control. I'm just saying. But of course, now that's personal. But as a teacher, I have to tell y'all that women are entitled to the same education, quality education. Hey, and we through with it. Say what?
What about trans people?
Wait a second. That had nothing to do with the past. Who is that hollering like a dirt digger? Chase, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you, Chase. Well, you're going to be in so much trouble. We're not going to. Anybody who is born and breathing, everybody got the same right. So we don't give a horse's apple if they trans, LGBT, coon, jigaboo, spick, whatever. Keep your mouth shut. Because when some of you try to poke fun at people, you're poking fun at yourselves. You need to look in the mirror. And then there's 5 or 6 in every family. So we're going to leave it at that. And I hope you feel offended. If people don't mess with you, you don't F with them. Damn it. Moving right along. So Erasmus, he helped promote the education of women. Don't you think that was the worst thing ever to happen when we started educating women? What you got?
What's up, TikTok fam? Okay, so first of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you for all the encouraging words. Thank you for all the advice. You know, we have gained some new TikTok aunties and uncles. Noah is like, look at all my aunties and uncles. Y'all wrote it down for us. I know y'all been calling. I know these people have seen this video. It's amazing. And I just want to say thank you. Okay, so yes, I did just leave the meeting with the principal of Lovejoy High School. His name is, I got his card right here. His name is Kevin Griffin, Dr. Kevin Griffin. Shout out to him. You know, Dr. Griffin was very down to earth. The first thing he said is, yes, I seen the video and it is not good. Like, they know. You know, he got a call from the superintendent from the board early this morning. So, you know, everyone knows. Y'all have made the video go viral. So everyone knows, you know, he's going to do his investigation. And his investigation entails calling all the students that were in the class in that moment down to get their viewpoint and to, you know, get how they felt about it. Of course, gathering all the full video. I sent him the full video today. And also basing off of my recommendation, which I want the man gone. I just feel like he should just go ahead and retire again. You know, this would be a second time, but yeah, it's time to go ahead and lay it down, baby. Just go ahead and sit down, you know, and go, you know, whatever. But so, and then the principal's recommendation as well, you know, and with all of that, the superintendent and the school board will make a very intelligent decision, not just based on my son's experience, but based on all the students, the whole class experience, you know. So I pretty much know what's going to happen, and I'm grateful that these men are stepping up. So when I went there, the principal was a man. I'm like, okay, I didn't know, you know, if he how close he was with his teacher. He's only been there a year, you know what I'm saying? He's been great for the school. That principal Griffin has been great for Lovejoy the whole year, you know. So, but I didn't know how, you know. So I went in there, but he was like, yeah, no, this is not good. This is not cool. This is not what we're doing, you know. And that's just real, you know what I'm saying? And I thank him for being honest. I thank him for not being upset with Noah. He told Noah he did the right thing. You know, so the banning phones in school at Lovejoy, they're not tripping because look at what, it's not like Noah just be filming everything and you know, it's not like that. You know, he caught that in the moment because it was supposed to be caught. My son had been hearing these things from this man since the beginning of the school year and never caught it on camera, never, you know, but this time he was fed up, you know. So I appreciate the principal looking at Noah and saying, hey, you did the right thing. Because, you know, no one knows this, but I'm a widow. My son, Noah, the one in the video, his father passed away 4 years ago, my husband, you know. So And I don't have a significant other, so I am a single mother raising my child now, not by choice, but because his father passed away. And me and my husband's mom, shout out to my mother-in-law, I love her. She was at the meeting with me, Clayton County Sheriff. Thank you so much, Mama. I love you. Not, me not having my husband, it's already, hard for me, not just financially, but emotionally. Like I can only show him how to be a good human being. I can't show Noah how to be a man, so I do expect the men that I allow in his life, which is people at his school, right, that they spend more time with him during the day than I do, because my son is in bed, he does activities, he loves school, right? So I do expect those men to hold a certain stature. I do expect those men to teach my son the right thing and not the wrong. So yes, it's very deep, it's very detailed, and the school board knows, and they are not happy. So y'all do not have to worry. Y'all do not think that this man just gonna get off with a slap on the wrist. No, he's not. He can't. It was a little girl in there trying to defend us, and this guy's telling her, no, it's all about control. And I could see if it was a lesson. Oh, okay. So I'm going to answer some questions too, right? So no, it was not an exercise, guys. This was real life. This has happened before. It's just that my son recorded it this time. So no, this was not a lesson plan. This was not an exercise to get their gears grinding and their brain working. No, this is how this man personally thinks, and so he went there, in the full video. Yes, he did say, hey, everybody has equal rights, but he said that and then also said like 3 or 4 racial slurs, and he cursed. It was just too much. You know what I'm saying? So no, it was not a lesson plan. No, he is not a substitute. His name is Mr. McCants. He's been in the school system for a long time. And it's a few people in both of those videos. It's a few alumni and a few people that know that man. And y'all can hear what they say. Y'all can read what they saying, So this is not the first time Mr. McCant has, been doing and saying things like this, My son, he's an AB student. My son has never been in the principal's office ever. Not to be in trouble. The principal will call him down and say, hey, what happened to this situation? Or, hey, can you help me with it? He's been the principal assistant, but he's never been in the principal's office getting in trouble for anything. I can count on one hand. You can ask him. I can count on one hand the number of times I whooped my son in his whole 14 years of living. So my son is very unproblematic. He's a very good, upstanding citizen. I am raising a good man. You hear me? So at the end of the day, I thought I was going to have to go in there with my guns blazing because I didn't know what was going to go down or how they were going to feel. But the principal and his superior, which is the assistant superintendent, they all feel the same way I do. And now it's just a matter of working the case, getting the evidence, and building a packet to present to the school board for this man to get fired. Period. Let go, resign, retired, however they want to do it. He don't need to come back for a break. And I want to thank y'all so much. I want to thank y'all so much for the encouraging words. Thank you. Thank you for seeing that this was wrong. I never intended for the video to go viral, but I see why I did, because it's just ridiculous, So shout out to Lovejoy High School. Y'all treated us with love and care today. Very respectful. I even cried in the office because the principal was like, because I said, I know it's an option for my son to be able to be removed out of his class. And before I can even finish my sentence, the man took the words out my mouth. He was like, huh? But what about the other students? So, that made me cry. I was like, oh my God, thank you, Lord, that there is somebody here that is actually going to do the right thing. So thank you guys. Thank you, Dr. Griffin. Thank you to his boss, the assistant superintendent. And I'm going to keep you guys updated. The next move is for me to send an email to the assistant stating my recommendation and, with the video and everything. He's going to put that in the packet that they're building and what they're going to present to the school board. Okay? Thank you, guys. I love you, aunties and uncles of TikTok. Y'all rolled at dawn, okay? Y'all rolled out for my son. Thank y'all.